Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Early Morning Stories with Pastor Macy. Today we are going to read another story out of Uncle Arthur's Bedtime Stories. Some of you might remember this one from some of the other volumes of Uncle Arthur Bedtime Stories. One of the things that I love about this little volume is that number one, it's a sharing volume, so you can buy them at the ABC for a couple of dollars to share with other people, whereas some of the bigger books are more expensive. But I also like the artwork in this one. I think that it's especially good. It's a little different than some of the artwork I grew up with in Uncle Arthur Bedtime Stories. So this is a story on prayer, and it is titled Joe's Dollar. This is a story that I'm sure you will like because it really happened. Joe was just 8 years old. His parents were poor and were never able to give him very much pocket money. Just a nickel or a dime now and then, you know. Then one day, somebody gave him $1. A silver dollar. A millionaire never felt so rich. Joe was so pleased with his silver dollar that he kept taking it out of his pocket to look at it. How shiny and bright it was, and what a lot of things it could buy. Then sometime later, as Joe put his hand into his pocket to look at his dollar again, it wasn't there. He pulled the pocket inside out, but he couldn't find it. He searched all his other pockets, but the coin was gone. Frantically, he began searching the house, the yard, everywhere he might have been, but still no dollar. To think that his one precious dollar had vanished so soon, it was terrible. He prayed. "Oh Lord, please help me find my lost dollar." But he still couldn't find it. He was heartbroken. Evening came. Very discouraged and all out of sorts, he went to bed. As soon as he lay down, he remembered that he didn't say his prayers. Well, he thought, I've lost my dollar, and what's the use of praying anymore? I'll just go to sleep. But he couldn't sleep. Just as he was dozing off, a little voice inside him seemed to say, Joe, you haven't said your prayers. So he turned over and tried to sleep again, only to have the same thing happen. Joe turned this way and that, trying hard to get to sleep, but still a voice kept saying, Joe, you haven't prayed. At last he sat up. Maybe I'd better do it after all, he said to himself. So he got out of bed, knelt down in the dark. Oh, he explained. His knee pressed down on something cold and hard. It was his dollar. Oh, dear Lord, he prayed, forgive me for not wanting to say my prayers. I do thank you for my dollar. Amen. And there's a picture of Joe kneeling down to pray and kneeling on his silver dollar. I wonder if some of you who are a little younger have ever seen a silver dollar. So I have one here. I'm going to take it out of its little package that helps keep it all shiny. So there we go. There, that side's upside down. Let me turn it right side up. There you go. And then this side says United States of America, 1 ounce fine silver, $1. And this is from 2014. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's from 2014 because that is the year that I graduated from college. It's kind of big in your hand. I graduated from college in 2014, and one of my professors from Walla Walla University brought this to my graduation party and gave it to me. And, you know, teachers get invited to a lot of graduation parties normally this time of year. This year's a little different. We're not having as many parties because of what's happening in our world. But he brought it and gave it to me along with a bottle of his grape juice. He makes homemade, wonderful grape juice from some special grapes that he grows in his backyard. And, that professor was someone who had become a friend of mine over my years at Walla Walla University. I didn't always do very well in his classes. When I changed my major, he encouraged me in that. He thought that was a better plan for my life because I wasn't very good at the subject that he taught. I had to work very hard at that subject, harder than a lot of people who were more naturally gifted in that area. But you know what? That didn't matter. He and I were still friends. We still had a great relationship, a great friendship. And I treasure this silver dollar that he gave me. And I hope that you have had the chance to not just have a silver dollar, not just have some prayers answered like Joe's prayers in our story, but I hope that you have had a chance to have some teachers in your life at places like Walla Walla University or Portland Adventist Academy or Rivergate or PAES. There's lots of wonderful schools in our Adventist system, and I hope that you have had some teachers who have loved you despite how well you did in their classes, and that you have some things to remember them by. So I am so glad that you joined us for the story today, and I hope that you enjoyed hearing the story of my silver dollar as well as the story of Joe's silver dollar. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon.